Hey everybody, I want to welcome everybody to the Unscripted Ravens Talk, a fan podcast. My name is Big A. I'm going to be your host for this podcast. I am the founder and CEO of Be More Buck Edits. I put out videos. Check me out on my YouTube channel. This is pretty much like my first video, so it's not going to be perfect. First of all, let me give you a little something about me. My name is Be More Buck. My name is Big Buck, Big A. Call me whatever you want to call me. I'm from Emerson Village, Baltimore, Maryland, West Baltimore. I love my community. Always have, and I always will. Even though I don't live there anymore, I still love my community just like I lived there. I went to high school at Emerson High School, Baltimore, Maryland. I played football while I was there for my 4 years. In 1982, I was a part of the 1982 City Championship team that went 10-0, and we had 7 shutouts. So the reason why I tell you this is that this is the attitude of the city of Baltimore. We are blue collar, we love hard hitting football, and that's what we have this year. And that's what we always wanted. We always wanted a team to go out there just like the Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore Colts was a hard-hitting team. We got the Baltimore Ravens, they're a hard-hitting team. And we are a hard-hitting community, and we are a hard-hitting state. And guess what? That's what makes us tough. But anyway, moving right along, we're going to get back into the present time. Like I was saying, I just want to give you a little something about me, where I was from. I don't live in Baltimore anymore. I'm outside the state now. I live in another state. But I'm always a child of Baltimore. I always will be. I love all my friends there, and I hope they come and check out my podcast, which I will be putting out weekly. I will be doing videos. I put out other videos on different subjects, but getting to the Baltimore Ravens. So what I like to do talking points. Like I said, this is Unscripted Fan Podcast. First of all, let me go ahead and give you my disclaimer, because I don't want to get in trouble for anything. This blog and podcast are my own opinions and do not represent the views or opinions of the Baltimore Ravens or the National Football League or any of its agents. Okay? I just want to take that out there. It's just my opinion. I'm not a professional football coach. I'm not no NFL agent of the NFL. I don't work for the NFL. I'm not speaking on their behalf. I'm not degrading anybody. I just want to just talk how I feel as a fan, which I am a dear fan of the Ravens, and I always will be. And I believe our team will win the Super Bowl this year, like I believe every year. And that's what our players believe. That's why I like this team. That's why I like the coach. That's why I like the organization. So the talking points for the night, we're going to talk about, should the center and guard position be a concern in 2019? We're going to also talk about Hobbs telling a radio host he will be wrong about Lamar Jackson, that people will be wrong about Lamar Jackson. Then we're going to discuss Butler over Hakeem Butler. I know everybody was calling for Hakeem Butler to be drafted by the Baltimore Ravens because he's a product of Baltimore. Yes, Hakeem Butler is from Maryland. I don't know if he's from Baltimore, but I know he is from Maryland. So we'll talk about that also. And then I'll go over my 5 bold predictions for 2K19 for our Baltimore Ravens. Don't you love your team? We got a hard-working team. Do you see these boys in preseason? Anybody that think that preseason games doesn't matter, preseason wins doesn't matter, are losers. And those are the teams that do not go to the playoffs, because you got to instill a winning culture in your organization from the beginning. And that's what Coach Harbaugh is doing, and that's what set him apart from a lot of coaches in the NFL. It's the same mantra that Bill Belichick has. Bill Belichick has the mantra of do your job, and everybody do their job, we'll win a championship. And that's what happens with any organization. Whether you are office manager, whether you work at a restaurant, if a team work together, they will always accomplish their mission. If a team doesn't work together, everybody don't do their job within that team, guess what? They won't accomplish that mission. So I really appreciate what Hobbs have done to keep the culture of Baltimore hard-nosed football. And I grew up in that. I'm gonna tell you something. We used to play football in the snow in Baltimore, in the streets. And I've hit my ear up against a car before. Have you ever hit your ear on a car running a football or catching a pass in the snow in the street, playing football as a kid? Okay, that's the type of city we live in. And that's the type of football we love. Every neighborhood in Baltimore have their own football team. We had our football team for our neighborhood. We used to play a team, I never forget them. They was called the bus drivers. They drove the city buses for Baltimore City. They was from East Baltimore, most of them. And they would come, they was like, all of them was at least 40 and over. We were still in high school. We would play them for some incentives. And we always have a bet going on, and we would always win. But we know that we played them because they was hard-nosed, hard workers, and they played hard. And that's the type of mentality our city has, okay? So let's dive right into this podcast. Should the center and guard position be a concern for the Baltimore Ravens in 2019? I say yes, because we are not getting the push we are getting from other parts of our line. Ronnie Stanley is pretty productive. Okay, he's not as good of a run blocker as he is of a pass protector. That's why we need a guy at that left guard position that is a run blocker. Okay, that can compensate for Ronnie Stanley deficiencies in that area. And also that guard should be a great pass blocker. And that's what we need. I don't know if we're going to get that in free agency. I already said that I knew they was going to get a linebacker, a veteran linebacker. They had to have a veteran linebacker. I knew they wouldn't go into the season without a veteran linebacker. It was just a process of them figuring out which linebacker they wanted to pull from and which team. So we got the guy today. His name is Worley, I think. Come from the Eagles. He played with Atlanta. He came in the league with Atlanta. He seemed like he's going to be a pretty good addition. Just to add some depth, just in case one of our linebackers get hurt, we can put that veteran presence out there and keep the ball rolling. Smart idea. I love the way this team moved. They are very efficient. They're very smart. And like Harbaugh said, they know how to train. They are good trainers. Any organization that trains their employees well, that trains their players well, that can coach their players well, will be a successful organization. That's what Belichick does with the New England Patriots. He trains, he coaches, he mentors well. And that's why they are a winning organization and they are in the playoffs and winning Super Bowls every year. So yes, the center and guard position should be an area of concern. I would go out, if I was in charge there in Baltimore, I would go out and get a center and I would get a guard, veteran present, just to bring in for security blankets. You know what I'm saying? Just to bring in for security blankets. So that might be a weakness. I think we can compensate for it with the talent we have, but we don't want that to deter us from our goals of going to the Super Bowl this year. So yes, I think it's a concern, and I think they need to address it quick. All right, like I said earlier, Harbaugh told a radio host that he will be wrong about Lamar Jackson. And Harbaugh has been adamant about Lamar Jackson and the criticism he has been receiving. I am the same way. Not just because he played for the Ravens. I believe in due process. Let the young man play football. Let his play on the field dictate to how we perceive what he's going to be. It's just like saying somebody guilty when they haven't even been convicted of a crime. Let him get on the field and play. You see his play. He wins game. He came in the last half of the season last year. Came in as a rookie on a change offense that he didn't really even know the plays, and won 6 games out of 7 games in the NFL and went to the playoffs in the NFL, not college, NFL, the National Football League. And if it wasn't for the lackadaisical offensive coordinator that couldn't make a change at halftime, and put that organization in a winning situation, we could have went to the Super Bowl. But that's how you can miss the Super Bowl, you can get there. Okay? So, Boykin over Hakeem Butler. I remember before the draft, Hakeem Butler was one of my guys. I've been doing pretty good with selecting different players over the years. I was a adamant Kamara scout. I thought he would affect the Ravens good. I wish they would have drafted him, but they didn't. Okay, all right. So it happens like that. The draft is a chance that you take, you know. But there are several players that I wish our team would have got, and this year was no different. Everybody was screaming for Hakeem Butler because Hakeem Butler is from Maryland. I don't know if he's from Baltimore, but he's from some part. He played with some high school in Baltimore or Maryland. And so he's a local product, a local player over Boykin over Hakeem Butler. Boykin's name really wasn't up there, even though he was doing big and great things at Notre Dame. He still wasn't on the pinnacle of being this great. I'd never heard of him. I heard of Hakeem Butler. I did my research on him. Knew he was from Baltimore, knew he from Maryland. I seen what he was doing in college, but I didn't really hear of Boykin. Boykin was one of the better receivers in college. And guess what? Hakeem Butler just got hurt. So I'm not saying, you know what I mean, I hope he have a speedy recovery. I'm just saying we dodge a bullet with that because anytime you dodge an injury, you dodge a bullet. So we got a healthy receiver that's probably going to produce more, and they got an injured receiver that won't be here to the end of the season if he played this year. So picking Boykin over Hakeem Butler, I'm sorry to say, was a good choice. So these are my 5 bold predictions for the Ravens season in 2019. Justice Hill, listen to me, Justice Hill will become the starter by game 3, if not earlier. But he will become the starter in the season, I would say mid-season, game 3 beyond, and he will take over the starting role from Mark Ingram. This guy is from OSU. OSU is running back university. Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, and the list goes on and on. That's the running back school. If you want a running back, you go OSU, you'll find one. So Justice Hill become the starter. That's my first bold prediction. My second bold prediction is that Brown and Boykin will lead the Ravens in reception yardage this season. It's going to be crazy. This offense is going to be out of this world. Get ready for the roller coaster. Get ready for this ride. I'm so excited for it. But Boykin and Brown will lead the Ravens in receptions. You know what? They might lead the NFL. We never know. Mark Andrews will be the best tight end in the NFL. He already is. But he was a rookie last year, so this year he will become the best tight end in the NFL. Mark my word on that one. He's unstoppable. Did you see this guy Thursday night? He had like five of the other team players on him, and he's still running. Is that even natural? The Ravens will upset the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship this year. In the AFC Championship, it might not be this year, it might be next year in January. But anyway, the Ravens are going to upset the Patriots. The game that we see when the Patriots come to the Ravens in Baltimore at M&T, that game is going to be a preview of the AFC Championship. Put that in the books. Cut bait. Okay, right now on my cut bait radar, I have Maurice Kennedy. I don't think he's cutting the mustard. I think we got too much depth there. They probably put him on a practice squad just to hide him out. He's not a bad player, but he loses concentration a lot. He's inconsistent. So I think he's probably going to go down to the practice squad. As Zilla also. That was Ozzie Newsome last pick defensive end. He's just not panning out. So he's going to need a little more practice. Even he's trade bait, or guess what? They'll put him down on the practice squad because he is a rookie. Sean Ray, I don't think he's figured it out yet. We need somebody that can get to the passer. And we need them, whoever that person is, we need to have them now. And we need to get those people or get that player on our team ASAP. And Sean Ray is not that guy. And I don't think Fernell McPhee is either. I think he's good quality depth, veteran presence. I like his attitude, the dog's in the house, or whatever. Hey, listen, we need sacks on the quarterback. Delance Turner, the running back, I like him, but I think another team probably would want him. You know what I'm saying? So that might be some trade bait. Delance Turner. Okay? Dalen Mack, and I'm going to close out this story. Last night I watched a nose guard. I don't know if they run two nose guard or two tackles. I don't know how they had them in there. But I watched Dalen Mack at 6'1", 340 pounds. Run down the wide receiver, RCA now, just came out of college. He was real good. I want the Ravens to get him. He called us up. He ran him down and tackled him. I had never seen that before. I thought that was amazing. But hey, everybody, thanks for joining the show. I'm going to have more coming at you. Please subscribe and go to my YouTube channel at Big Buck Edits. You'll be seeing the Unscripted Ravens Talk podcast, a fan podcast on there. Listen to it, subscribe to it, share it with your friends. If you've got comments, you want to be on the show, I'll talk to you. I love you. Peace, harmony, and let's win the Super Bowl this year. Big A out.